Hey guys, I'm Knapp, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Google Glass, which is basically a combination of a smartphone and a pair of eyeglasses. Google Glass is one of Google's 10x projects, so to start off, we're going to discuss what Google's 10x rule is. So the Google 10x rule is a guiding principle for a certain group of Google projects, and it operates under the moonshot way of thinking, which basically means you get a group of intelligent people, give them the resources they need, and encourage them to make products that are 10 times better than anything else out there, rather than making a 10% or a minor improvement. And the hardest part of this is changing your team members' perspective and mindset. They're going to fail a lot of the time with such broad parameters, and it's all about giving the team members the freedom to think outside of the box and chase big ideas instead of simply beating out competitors or one-upping the competition. And you get a better return on your investment in your employees this way, but there are problems with projects stretching too far, making unnecessary changes, and these projects are also years away from earning Google money, while 90% of their revenue still comes from search and advertising. Next up, we're going to look at Google Glass, which is a 10x project, and see what that consists of. So Google Glass was an optical head-mounted display designed in the shape of a pair of eyeglasses. And the mission behind this project was to produce a ubiquitous computer that displays information in a smartphone-oriented, hands-free format. So they would display the information on the glasses lenses in this case, and the wearers were able to communicate with Google Glass through natural language voice commands and through a touchpad on the side of the glasses. The prototypes of Google Glass were released in a Google Glass Explorer program in 2013, which was an exclusive group, and then was later released to the public in 2014. Production of Google Glass stopped in 2015, and the reasons behind this will be discussed later on. Next, we're going to take a look at the development of Google Glass to see how it went from a prototype to a public release. So Google Glass was developed in Google X, a facility within Google dedicated to technology advancements like autonomous vehicles and other groundbreaking technology like that. And it's led by Jacques Aldrich. And it was smaller and slimmer than its predecessors, the former versions of head-mounted display designs, and it was designed as eyeglasses with lens replaced by a heads-up display like what you would see on a smartphone. So in mid-2011, the prototype they had weighed 8 pounds. By 2013, the weight of the Google Glass was lighter than your average pair of sunglasses. They were released in April 2013 to the exclusive Explorer program we discussed for $1,500. Next, we're going to talk about the features and software that Google Glass were released with. So there were a couple of important features to Google Glass that allowed it to function properly. First of these was the touchpad, which was located on the side of the glasses frame and used to swipe through the timeline-like interface of Google Glass, whether you're looking at weather or phone calls or photos. And there was also a camera which allowed you to take photos and record video in 720p. Also, in the lens there was a display, which is basically like what you would see on a smartphone, only it was hands-free, and that you could use natural language voice commands to activate it. The applications on Google Glass were mostly free applications developed by third-party developers. There were no ads allowed in these apps, and they were not allowed to charge fees. However, this may change in the future according to Google. The existing Google apps were available on it, like Google Maps, Google Plus, and Gmail. And My Glass was another important application, which was a companion Android and iOS app, which allowed the user to configure or manage their Google Glass through their phone. Next up, we're going to take a look at some of the uses Google had in mind for their technology. So Google had a couple other uses for the glass in mind. One of these was healthcare. They looked at it as possibly a wearable health record that could record consultations and surgeries between doctors and patients, and it actually was used in a live surgical procedure in June 2013. Also, they viewed it as a way to possibly live stream patient visits and eliminate the issues that are associated with electronic health records, which is a big deal in the healthcare field today. Another use is for journalism and mass media, where you could do live reporting, conduct interviews, and report stories, all from the reporter's point of view. They also saw it as potentially being useful for the military, and it has been used minimally to track animals and things like that. Next up, we're going to take a look at the criticism and what ultimately led to the downfall of Google Glass the first time around. So on January 15th, 2015, Google announced that they were going to stop producing glass but remain committed to its development. They had problems with the 10x rule because leadership wasn't satisfied with glass only having a corner of the market, and they wanted to force it into something ready for daily use, which really wasn't feasible. There were big privacy concerns like recording people without their consent, using facial recognition software in public, the privacy and security of users if their device got stolen, which led to Google developing the locking feature for glass. And there was also a software program developed by a group of computer experts at a university where you could steal people's passwords by tracking their finger movements through using glass. There were also safety concerns, like wearing them while driving, which led for them likely to be banned in the United Kingdom after being deemed careless driving. West Virginia amended its texting while driving legislation to include wearing Google Glass while driving. The existing law states that you can't have a visible monitor while driving, which eliminates the possibility of wearing glass while driving. There were also cases where people were wearing Google Glass and were assaulted. The most notable one occurred in a bar where people were upset over being recorded. However, in December 2015, Google filed a new application with the Federal Communications Commission for a new version of Glass. So there could be a new release coming up soon. That's all you need to know about Google Glass. Thanks for watching.